Welcome back, everybody, to the snowy village that we've got going on here. This is, of course, where we were last episode. And before I go any further, thank you very, very much for all of the suggestions to improve this place. I've already done one, which was obviously a very, very common one, to change the tables over. I've just done this for a little bit, letting this sink in with the pressure plates. Eventually, I'm going to put in some chairs and stuff like that, but thank you very much for that, guys. Much, much appreciated. Getting started on today, I said in a tweet yesterday that we are going to have an absolutely awesome episode. And today's episode, we are doing a lot. Like, this is going to be a massive episode. And it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So, we're starting off with the first bigger build in this area here. We have got this, which we have to base our scale off. So, that's something I'm going to have to keep in mind. But what I'm building is a room that is going to be it's going to serve the purposes of managing this area for like a wall, perhaps, or something along those lines. And also, like, the defensive purposes and be a spot where... Really, we got one of them already. Being a spot where we could actually have someone who runs this village. That's where they're going to stay. This is the idea of what this building is that I'm building here. What my plan is to build this in a very weird way, because I've got some ideas which I think will look good, but I don't know how I'm going to be building them, so I'm just trying them out. And this is one that I'm doing right now. And basically what I'm planning on doing is having this big spiral staircase going up. And this is actually going to be indoors, by the way. This is just outdoors right now because I'm not too sure what the proportions are going to be, what the dimensions are going to be. That's why I'm building it first. But my idea is to have this spiral staircase, which is sort of grand looking, but not too crazy like that. And I think it's going to look very, very cool by the time it's done, if I do get this right, of course. The only problem we might have, and this could be a little bit of trouble, is getting this thing looking way too big. This building that we're doing way too big compared to that or the mountain. So I've got to keep that in mind. But what I'm trying to do now is I'm just trying to get a good shape of of one of these spiral staircases. Okay, this guy's still here. That was unintentional, by the way. I didn't actually mean to drop down there. But there we go. Okay, so another question that I've been getting quite a bit recently, and I know a lot of people would do this in their worlds, but I personally don't enjoy doing it too much. Oh, no. Everything's burning. Okay, well, that kind of answers my question. I've been getting a lot of people telling me to... There we go. Asking me whether or not I have fire spread turned on or turned off. And in this world, fire does spread at its normal way. It spreads how it normally spreads. You know what? I think this should be alright, because I counted this. I'm pretty sure that was going to work, so that should work now. I think it's just a matter of me miscounting, of course. So yeah, fire spread is turned on, so we will be able to get things burning in this world. That is obviously the case, as I've just shown here. And the reason for me using fire... Don't you love these weird glitches where they does that? The reason for me using fire spread on is because I like to keep everything as vanilla Minecraft as possible. And I know every time I mention vanilla Minecraft, someone asks the question, what is vanilla Minecraft? And once you know, it's very easy. Vanilla is that generic flavor, like Minecraft. This is just stock standard Minecraft, nothing else added. And that's the Minecraft we're playing. So if anyone was wondering, I've answered that question. And we can carry on. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get this to meet up, not in a complete spiral. So it's going to go around there and maybe meet up here. And I think the height that we're going at right now will be alright. Although... might have gone out a little bit too far here, but we can see if we can pull this around. So let me just check this out. If we go here, here, here. Actually, I'm getting pretty high on that. Let's try to see if we can maybe make a little bit of a turn over here. Something like this. So actually, what I might do is I might just quickly do this and I'll come back. So I've gone and done a little bit of stuff here, and I've got the staircase feeling somewhat good to me, I think, in my opinion. I feel like it feels nice and sort of spiral. Although, you know how tough it is working with blocks. So, I've gone ahead and changed these pillars around here to be in this spot here. And as I was saying, fire spread is on, but this is just one block out from where it can actually get us. So, we are very, very close. Playing with fire, quite literally. But we are very, very close to it, and we should be alright. So, the idea is that we're going to walk up these, go up all the way to the top, and get to this flat piece here where there will be an office door over here, and a room inside there. We'll work out what's going on inside the room. And then down here, if we were walking in, we'd have the entrance over there with a room over here kind of going downwards. And we would have a little bit of an armory in one side and a map on the other with like a strategic table. You know those tables? I don't know what you'd call it. Like basically like a table where they've got like little places and they've got little pins on them. We're not going to probably get the pins right, but we'll have the table there for sure. And that's the idea with this. Now, the issue that I may have, which is why I decided to start with this, was this building might just look really, really large. So we have to try and work this out and see how we're going to get this to work into this build. So looking up here, I think we might be all right. We may very well be all right. If I make this larger piece here at the bottom a little bit wider, because this will be wide, it'll have to come up there, and then we can maybe just trick the eye by making a little bit of a roof thing over here, which is a bit skinnier. And you'll get what I mean, but basically if we keep this wide, which is unideal, not ideal, and then we make a roof, then go to a smaller piece at the top, it might just give the illusion that this is actually quite a skinny building, when it actually is going to be fairly fat. in my opinion, it'll be very, very large. I mean, that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 3. That's probably going to be like 15, 17 blocks wide. That's when by the time it's done, if we did this tower all the way this way. Very, very large. Very, very large. So what I'm going to do while I do this, I'm going to get going with the exterior walls here, and then also maybe this little piece at the top here that I was talking about before we add on the next piece. And this is sort of my idea of building, making it modular, so you can break things off, put things together, and this piece is one module of the bigger piece. And that's how I'm trying to tackle this project. Also, for those of you guys who are following along and building what we're building, or the ones that are just interested in how I do the spiral staircase, because this is something I always had trouble with. This spiral staircase, I kind of like to, just forget these 2 blocks here. Like, that, they just extra blocks to make it look flat, right? So, this over here, I like to use L pieces, like, look at that, an L, and a W, or an M, I guess you could say. In my head, whenever I'm building it, I'm always look back to what I've done, I'm like, okay, that's a W, that's an M, can you see the M? And then M, L, backwards L, or J, I guess. And, I just follow these 2 things here, and they work out very, very well for this particular one. But I like to do that, just make these look all kind of, in my head, kind of memorize them in that way, so it makes my life a little bit easier. So, that's just a little tip, and also if anyone wanted to build this, now you guys know. Now you guys know how I do my spiral staircases to some extent. When they can work out like this, I love to use these sorts of patterns here, M's, L's. Very, very useful. And speaking of useful, we know how very unuseful the end portal was in our dragon fight just a few episodes ago. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to go ahead and clear out that area around the end portal so that we can attack the dragon properly without getting absolutely destroyed every single time. So this basically just puts us back onto a level ground. I've gone ahead, lit up the end, and now I'm just clearing out every little bit and piece of this place so that it can make my life a little bit easier when we fight the Ender Dragon. Now, what I'm doing this fight for, because I'm going to be fighting it in just a moment, is because I want to actually get some more portals for the end. So I want to go and explore some more end cities, because I've gone quite far out in the single end gateway that we've got from the first fight, and that is because I've been looking for a mending book, or maybe just some items with mending on it to try and get our items all able to be mended. And I thought this was a pretty cool clip here, by the way, guys. Just us fighting the End Dragon using the replay mod as well. By the way, there should be a link down in the description. And if a lot of you guys have been asking for a bit of help with the replay mod, so I might be able to do something in the future about that to maybe help you guys out, because it's such an awesome mod. Look at this. Look how cool it looks. Just me flying around, destroying these end crystals. And it's a very, very useful mod. So this fight was significantly easier. Look at that. Just going ahead, destroying everything. It's trying to shoot me. It can't shoot me. I can't shoot many pieces of the portals either. You can see me missing over there. But there we go. Very, very simple. And also the wings. I mean, that's what makes the big difference. The hole at the bottom, you'll see, will come in useful in just a few moments. Also, the beacon. I used it originally to give me haste too, but I decided just before I started the fight, why not just put on extra strength? So I put on strength 2 in the end of it, and that has been so useful in killing this dragon. So there we go, just let me go and kill that thing, and now it's about time to just go and smack the dragon on the tail. And this is actually something I saw in a video recently by Ilmango, who you guys have heard his name so many times on this channel, but yeah, got really, really cool ideas with redstone. I actually just saw him getting this sort of thing going on. They've actually got a portal pretty low on their world as well. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just going around to the back of the dragon every time it comes down, smack it a little bit, go to the corners if it starts hitting me, and it's pretty simple. There we go. Killed the dragon. And despite that fight being very, very simple compared to the last fight, it appears that I do not have an end gateway portal up here anywhere. And as far as I can tell, I always thought that these things spawned every time you killed the end dragon until you had 20 of these around the place. But apparently, that's not the case, because I cannot see, for the life of me, another one of these things. That's the original one we had. I'll just fly up over here. Nothing down there, nothing up here. I'm pretty sure they should all be on the same height. Yeah, absolutely nothing. Very, very weird. And as I say, I was just hoping for that so I could go ahead and explore some other areas of the end without having to travel too far. But you know what? We'll just have to fight the dragon yet again. But that won't be today, because I actually don't have enough ghast tears to make more of those end crystals, which was actually the first time ever making those end crystals. Also, by the way, I have destroyed this elytra. Look at that. I'm breaking 3, and it's almost dead. I've repaired it many, many times. But the only trouble is, it's now asking me for 33 levels for a single piece of leather. So it is definitely too far gone. I've also used this one, which does have Unbreaking 3 on it, and that's actually all from the End of Dragon fight. That's how quick it goes down without Unbreaking 3. Really, really crazy. So I really need to find a way of getting... Oh, I'm over here. I really need to find a way of getting a mending book to get on there, and also some mending around the place. So the mending book, I'm actually thinking... Tell me what you think, but I'm thinking probably doing a bit of a villager trading station would be pretty good here. So maybe get some villager breeding going on, and also get a little villager trader going on, because that's what we're going to need to get if we want to get enough mending books very, very easily. Let me just kill this guy. We need... There we go. Awesome. Ooh. 3 ghast tears. Okay, we can actually fight the Ender Dragon again. If we so chose, because I've got 1 more ghast tear back at the base. We're in a blizzard, guys. It is looking so good with all this coming down here. And look at this. It's just busy loading in. But that is what I've come up with. It's not actually very clear with all this snow here. But that's what I've come up with. Is there any way to turn these particles down a little bit? Because that is a bit crazy. But you know what? That's alright. So, going around this side, I've only done the 1 corner, because that corner there's going to be a little bit different. But I've gone ahead... You know what? I think I can sleep this. This is, as much as I wanted this snow... You know what? I might just leave it for a little bit, and I'll come back once this is over, because I want the snow to drop down on here. Much better. Now we can actually see around. So, what I've gone ahead and done is, I've gone ahead... And by the way, this is looking a lot better with all the snow around here. We might have to shovel a little bit of it away, but... I guess that'll keep up with the maintenance of the city. I think that'll be kind of cool. Maintenance of the village, my apologies. Not a city. This is not a city. This is too small to be a city. So, what I've gone ahead and done is done this little roof in the middle here, which is where the fire will be exhausting out, I guess. And I've also done this roof over here, which is a nice little add. I like to do these small things like this, the roofs on the halfway through the building. Even though they don't matter too much, I think they give it a lot of character. And specifically with the building like this, which is a very large building, it can look very ugly very quickly. And doing this little small piece there, little small piece, why do I use two of the same words? But that helps quite a bit. And, ooh, interesting. I saw that there was snow on the boxes over there the other day, but didn't know. I thought it would either stop us from getting that open or actually destroy it. So here we go. Fire going around here. These are going around this way. I've extended these out a little bit here. Made it a little bit more interesting, I guess, with the walls. And as we get to the top here, bam. On the level we want. And I think this has actually worked out to be a good height for the next piece over here. So my next plan will be taking this up probably another level. Oh, I don't have anything on me. Probably taking this up another level or 2. And connecting this up with a roof to here. However, I'm also thinking what could be kind of cool instead of a roof, because I'm thinking that from down here, and I want to just try this out, because this could actually be the better idea, is from this height here, if I took a roof up there, it's going to almost reach into that roof. Unless I did a really flat roof, in which case it's going to be sort of boring. So what I'm thinking I might do is actually just make this area up here a platform to stand on as a lookout. So let me just go up here now. Like, picture this. Picture us going up on this level here and being able to walk around on the edge here. However, I'm going to have to work that out. Maybe I might even have to push this up another few more blocks just to fit it in, which will be terrible, but it might be what it will come down to. Alright, quite a few changes have happened in the last little bit, so I'll get you all caught up on it right about now. So, this is looking pretty similar. I was trying to say simple and similar together. Who knows why. Yeah, that was... Wasn't even trying to say simple. Okay, so there we go. That is looking very similar to what it was before. And that is because it is very similar. There's only a few changes to the outside bit here. And by the way, I'm going to clear that up on the inside. Do not worry about that. So the change that has happened is originally, you remember, I wanted the door here. I said at the beginning of the episode, then you would have seen a door cut out here, which was my next plan. And now I'm back to this idea here because I think we can make a really interesting build from this really weird situation that's happened. And I think it almost is what creates character in a lot of my builds, is just finding these weird things and going with them. So instead of moving the roof down, well, up, which I said I was going to, because I was a bit worried that would create a bit of a weird look with the roof being almost halfway up the mountain on that side there, I decided to keep it where it was. I was happy with where it was, and I decided to push the stairs down, which was actually good in two ways. It was a bit easier for me to pull down, and also it looks a bit better. And I was also planning on dropping this down, but I decided to keep it there. So imagine we've got this floor over here. You can look up, you can see that there, and as you walk up the stairs, walk around it like that. I think that'll look really cool. And then you get up to the top here. Thought that was a really nice little touch. And it's just a little bit of something different, but I think this looks really cool. I think this looks really, really good when you walk up there, and you got this extra layer of detail in here. Unintentional, but when you work with it, it makes it very, very good. And I think that's going to look really, really awesome when it's done. So now what I'm doing is I'm also working on this top floor here. And the idea is that this is not going to be accessed through this here. You're going to have to go up another level and then access it through perhaps the room that we're going to be building here or something like that. But we'll eventually get this as an accessible spot to look out over the village. And it works very, very well. Look at that. Look, you can see right over. Really, really awesome. I'm very pleased with the way this build is turning out. So my next little bit here is going to be adding in the inside bits here and also the inside piece of the roof there. But what I decided to do is come in here and start off with a bit of these things here. Just putting in a little bit of this stuff here. What can we do? We can maybe do something like that, and let's go ahead and pop one of those in there. Let's check how that looks. You're going to have to see from the bottom, of course. In fact, you know what might be even better is instead of using that, we can use those. And then we can use these like that. There you have it. That is going to look better than just the slabs that I've put at the bottom here. So I just want to test this out. This is stuff that I've been doing recently. You know, with like the support columns and stuff. Just messing around with stairs. Because they got these really cool little bits that push off the side of them when you mess around with them. Which I mean, it's obvious. You know, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. It's very, very obvious. But when you start to use them, they actually can look really, really cool. So let's go down there. With the exception of that being the wrong direction. I think that'll work. Yeah, that'll work for sure. Now it's just a matter of getting that roof bit in there. So while I do this, I want to also put in some windows on these. And also, not only that, the windows are important. But I also want to go ahead and texture this, add a little bit more stuff in here. And then we will have this whole wing of this building completely done. All right, looking much better. A few little things have been added in, like these window things over here. A bit of texturing on the outside as well. And I've overthrown that, haven't I? No, that is good. That is good. A little bit of texturing on the outside as well. And now I'll just add in a few smaller bits. But before we go on with this any further, I think it's about time we take this to a double fight for today. All right, so we're fighting a wither right now. And that is going to be done here in the nether. And I'm not too sure whether this does work. And to be honest, I've never actually tried this out. Thinking of it. I may have, but I can't remember ever trying this out. But I've seen it done. And I think I'm doing this the wrong way, but I'm going to try it anyway. So basically, what we are hoping is the wither will bump up like that way and spawn in there. And the reason we're doing a wither and an ender dragon fight today is because I've got a bunch... Oh, what? Is that not working? Do I have to place the middle one last? Is that something? There we go. Let's try it again. So this should normally work. Like that, and... Okay. Fair enough. Alright, so the reason we're fighting both a wither and an ender dragon today is because why the hell not? You know what I mean? We've already got the ender dragon fight down, and that was actually very, very easy. I'm feeling like the wither might still be a little bit more tough than the dragon right now. Specifically now that the dragon is pretty much a piece of cake. Let's be completely honest. Okay, let's just do this in here. If not, we're just fighting the wither in the nether. That's not a problem. So there. No. There. Let's just put these together. Cool. I don't know if that one's actually trapped. Let me get these on here. Go. Explode, please. Okay. Easy. Easy. What was I saying about this potentially being tough? Okay, so basically I've got a bunch of wither skulls. I've got 5 of them in total. And that was all from... Oh man, I'm so glad that didn't like jump up to the roof of the nether. Okay, that was actually very, very easy. I didn't know that that was still a thing. But I'm glad I tried it. Very, very easy fight. 2 very easy fights, in fact. Now, what I was saying is I've got a bunch of these. I've now got 2 more left, so we almost will be able to fight the wither a 3rd time. Because I've just been hanging around the nether doing a few portals to places to make my life a little bit easier. We've actually got a portal now going towards the flower farm and also another mob farm on top there. And in fact, what I'm going to do while I'm out here is I'm actually going to go around to the mob farm and I'm going to show you the work I've been doing on that. And here we are. So the mob farm is over around this way. You guys will remember it. If you can't, I'll show you and I'll jog your memory. So that over there is the spawning platforms. All of them now should be working according to as in my last testing. But I was having a bit of issues where I was pushed the button because I just had a button over here as a tester to prove that these things work. But I've switched it over to a lever. So let me just show you what would happen if I put a button in here. Let me just get rid of that. Don't break everything. Do I have a button? Yes. Yes, I do. So we'll do this here. Pop one of these on, and look at this very weird thing that would happen. So every one of these is connected to each other. And basically, I should be able to do an entire run down to the bottom and switch everything off. So it works, until we get down there. Very strange thing was happening there. So let me push it again. So if you notice, there was the bottom one was still had water on. Then the second from the bottom didn't. And then the one above that had water on it. Now what should happen is they should flip around those 3. So now, okay, all 3 are off. All 3 are off. I'll show you. The next one is the one that they flip around. So very weird thing happens there. Then here another very weird thing happens. So now they flipped around. Remember, it was water, empty, water. Now it's empty, water, empty. And then well, this is the 4th time that we do this. It should go back to normal now. So now everything should have water on it. Very, very weird, right? And yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of mobs spawning every single time we do that. So I was messing around with this a little bit because I could watch the video tutorial on this, but I'm trying my hardest to do most of this stuff myself and work it out as we go. But what I've discovered is if I do this, give it a proper long signal, like that would be, then everything works. So what I'm thinking is because the button gives it a very quick signal, it doesn't work very well when it gets down to the bottom. I think because we're using the pistons and there's a little bit of glitchy business going on with pistons and redstone / slime blocks. So I think that's what we needed to do there. Also, I've gone ahead and finally replaced that piece in that I said I was going to do so long ago. So the next bit of this farm will be getting this connected up to this and just the timing of all these things. And oh man, we've got one more in here. Look at that. It's just I didn't realize that we've made it dark. So look at this. Oh, we can hear you, zombie. Let's have a look. Do I have the... I can't sprint. Oh, man. We could have seen how crazy that would have been. But look at them. They're just going down there. We've got more than enough gunpowder already. In fact, I think we'd be better off even just not even doing this. Even though I'm going to get it done. But I mean, realistically, I've got enough gunpowder, enough bone blocks for a while now. This little cross section actually looks pretty cool. I like just looking at it right now. Just seeing half of this build. Cut it in half, you know what I mean. You can see right through there. That's really, really cool. I can't wait till we actually, by the way, yeah, I do notice a creeper. Before you guys mention it, I do notice it. And it's going to be dealt with in a very safe manner. So the next part of this is actually going to be very, very cool when it all comes together. And that will be obviously adding in the next layer over here with the office and also adding in down here where I've actually put in some stairs. And what my plan is of course, having this area here, you walk down into it. And we're going to have a little room over here where the planning part is going to go out. And, oh, okay. Go that way, creeper. Doesn't seem... I'm actually kind of offended. This creeper seems like it doesn't really... Yeah, there we go. There we go. Did you not like this build enough to blow it up, creeper? I've worked hard on this. It seemed like it was like, nah, not worth... No, why do I have to ruin this build? Unless it was just being very polite. So, the next part, of course, is adding in this entranceway going down here. We'll add in the little table on this side. I'm going to get rid of that, of course. And then also over here, we can add just a bunch of armor stands with the armor that's being held up for this little area. That's my plan, at least. And another cool thing is, if we had to do another layer of these are stackable. So I could actually have a layer going down on this side, and we could just have the stairs running down again to another underground spot, if we really wanted to. Another thing that people really loved about our last world, for those of you guys who might not be familiar with the last world, and by the way, we did a tour on it, and I did mention that in the last episode with Will's Night. And by the way, guys, thank you so much for all going, checking it out, and saying what's up. It's really, really awesome. Thank you very much, guys. So I hope you guys have caught up with that world, because there's a lot of building that you'll notice is very similar to what we do here. But there's also a lot of stuff which, if you guys do know about that, is very, very different. And the one thing that has been a major difference for me has been using these bigger builds. Like, you would have seen anything this big in my last world, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud that we can now do something a bit larger, and we've got the ability to do that as well. So what I'm trying to do here with the entrance, by the way, is I don't want this entrance to be completely... Actually, I've got to go up one more to make sure that these are on the same height. Actually, do I want these roofs on the same height? Let me just check this. So I've got that roof there. I could go up one more and do it there. I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave this roof at the height that I was about to put it at. But yeah, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to keep this entrance completely open over here. So we're not gonna have a front door. And it sounds kind of weird, but I think it'll work out by the time we're done with it. So I want there to be just purely... Is that right? Yeah, I've done this wrong. I've got a little bit of a plan on how I'm doing these now. There we go. That's what I was doing. Wonderful. So, yeah, I don't want there to be a front door. I want this just to be an area you can walk straight into. And I think that'll work out quite well. And also, it's kind of like the blacksmith there, where you can see in from the outside, which is another added bonus, is the fact that you actually don't have to open doors and hide anything. You can see everything from the outside, which is just improving, I guess, the overall feel of these builds. There we go, get that there, and we'll finish this off. We'll just finish this off, this front entrance, and I think then that will be where we will leave the build off for today. So I'm getting towards the end of this, and I think overall this build is turning out very, very well. I know I've said it before, but I'm actually very, very, very excited for the way this is about to turn out. There we go, just stay up there, please. Alright, so it looks like we are completely out of ender pearls. Alright, I'm gonna have to go back to my ender chest again. So the next thing that I was trying to do here was just to add in a little bit of an interesting look to this side, because this wall was just about to be a flat wall, and I'm not too happy with flat walls. They very boring. There we go. Just something extra. We can always add in a wall back here, and that'll look interesting just because we pushed that back. Or alternatively, what I was hoping to do was add in another layer or something like that. So that's where we're going to leave that piece there for today. I still have to do a few things there, but that's not too bad. And then over here, I've also finished off this piece here. And I think that's going to look really, really well. Once we've got this dripping down here, we've got this extra little piece on this side. I think it's going to work out very, very well. Another thing that I need to do is just add in a few bushes. And these are the finishing touches to this place. That, along with maybe a few more pieces of snow like that. That's not a problem to add in the snow layers. So let's do that there, that there, that there. Maybe a bit too much. Yeah, that's good. I have to go find my oak leaves as well, because I've got a bunch of oak leaves, which I can just put in over here, and it really splits them up quite nicely. I think that's going to do it for today, guys. Please let me know what you guys think could improve this build, and also tell me what you think about it overall. I'd love to hear your responses. In fact, very, very often, what I see in the comments is what I do over here. So that is very, very much appreciated. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.